Okay, it is time to ask that question which many golfers will ask over the course of their golfing lives. What is more important off the tee? Distance or accuracy, driver or iron or fairway wood? What is going to be your best ploy from the teeing ground? My name is Peter Finch, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, and if you are a returning viewer, please do the same. And comment below on everything that you see in today's video, because there's going to be a lot going on. Now here's the format. We're going to be having a look at this subject from a stats point of view, from a common sense point of view, but we're also going to be going out onto the golf course. So a few weeks ago, I went out at Wilmslow Golf Club with Matt Fryer. Matt was using woods off the tee. I was using just my driving iron and lesser irons. We also had a little bit of a match. I did the strokes gained for us both over the 9 holes that we played as well. And we're also going to be having a look at the Swing Quest Cam and a more in-depth look about how you can improve your distance and accuracy off the tee. So the first place to begin, the clubs that will be used. I'm going to be using most of my driving iron off par 4s and par 5s, and that is the UDI, the TaylorMade, the P790. Matt's got an epic driver, and he's got a Ping 3 wood as well. And he's definitely got a little bit more firepower off the tee recently. Certainly with our driver, we are very evenly matched as far as distance is concerned. So what we're going to be looking at here is the fairways hit, the greens hit, and the overall scores, who's going to come out on top in our match. So let's get over to the course right now. This was filmed a few weeks ago, prior mustache. See how we get on.
Slider, nice. 106, found the semi, which is in the middle of the fairway. It's like a dip. Not a good club off the first. However, it's okay. Still got a chance. Still got a chance. So I had 100 and Matthew has 59. Wow. Need a number.
Oh. Halved in 4s. Matt had the advantage. Got a little bit unlucky with that putt. Swung a lot. However, I can kind of see where this match might go.
$121. Too bad, just on the right of the fairway. Matt's just above the bunker again, another 40 yards on. Hold up. Oh. So early exchanges are going almost as you'd expect. So Matt being able to hit it longer off the tee, obviously using his woods, having shorter wedges in, therefore will be able to get the ball closer. Oh,
oh, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
How did that one feel, Matt?
Felt good, yeah.
That felt good?
Until the very last
That felt
second
good?
when it just jumped and hit the rim and then bounced off the backboard.
That was unexpected. Still both level par.
So the match is finally poised at this moment in time, but let's have a little bit of a look at what this means for the very best players in the world, so the tour players, and then how this can relate to your game. Now, it's always been presumed that putting and short game is much more important than the long game overall, but because of the rise of strokes gained, we've kind of seen that that's not the case anymore. And it probably certainly never was the case. Now, Mark Brody, who invented strokes gained, he basically shows through his stats and through his work that the long game is one of the biggest separators between the average tour pro and the very good tour pro. And he says the biggest difference between these top players is how good they are with the longer clubs. And I've got a quote here from Sean Foley, so one of the world's very best coaches Justin Rose, Danny Willett, who obviously just won in Dubai as well. And he says distance is far more of an indicator of success than accuracy. Overall, if I have the choice of giving someone 5 extra miles per hour in club head speed or have them hit the corresponding amount of more fairways, net earnings will increase more from the extra swing speed. And it does appear to be the case. If you have that extra distance off the tee, even if you're not that accurate, you have a big advantage. Now, one of the reasons for that is most of these stats are collated on the PGA Tour. PGA Tour, very long courses, generally played on big greens, big fairways, where you can bomb it a long way, and even if you're in the semi, it's not that much of a disadvantage. Because it isn't to say that accurate players on certain courses can perform better. Just have a look at the Ryder Cup for a massive example of that. And one of the big separators that you find with the guys who hit the ball a long way is when their putting is on for that week, that's when they tend to perform the best. So that is what the stats show. But how's that going to relate to an amateur's game? Well, we're going to get back to that after a little bit more course vlog action.
Now this is potentially the first little benefit of hitting the iron. I found centre of the fairway, not a great strike. Matt also not a great strike, but he's just about managed to survive.
Tricky layup as well. Not all them. Obviously, if you hit iron,
Yeah, nicely out that. Okay. Matt, he hit me up in the debate. What's more important, distance or accuracy?
Well, it's interesting actually. I listened to a podcast with Humar and Dennis Pugh the other day, and they were saying this is tour players. Distance is a massive factor, but it's who puts the best out of the distance that week. So if you can couple those two together, great for those. I went to a conference on Friday, a teaching conference. There was 25 delegates, and everyone in the room for the amateur golfers was under the impression that if everyone could gain more accuracy as a club golfer, they'd play better golf, instead of, if you think hitting it 30 yards but you still can't hit the green or chip well or putt well.
So club golfers' accuracy,
I think so, yeah.
The better you get, the better you are hitting it further.
Yeah, if you think of your average course as well, everyone, watching the videos, no one's playing a European tour length course, are they? If you hit driver 200, let's say, even if it, just under that or just over, you're not going to have many par fours where you're going in super long, so... For me, if a lesson came to me and wanted loads more distance, it'd be why. Are you hitting every green first? Are you hitting every fairway?
Get out.
Yeah, out. No.
Oh, whoa. Oh. .200 left in, not an aggressive play off the tee. I kind of wimped out of that a little bit. However, I'm not in much trouble. Matt again is in a little bit of bother on the right, trees to contend with.
Shot, Peter.
No. So Matt is further on, a few trees to contend with. However, what's your advantage here, mate?
Obviously more distance. I'm only, it's 160, but I can get a 9-iron that far out of this rough, so they're not that much of an issue.
Don't know how to get up and out. No fade. So Matt, not too bad actually with his shot there, but tricky up and down here. Oh, Matthew. Oh! Wow.
Okay, and take this moment to comment below. Let me know what you think about this debate. Distance versus accuracy, what's the way to go? Now let's see what this means to your game. Now generally the people watching these videos are going to be handicap and recreational golfers, not tour pros. So we can assume that you're probably not striking the ball quite as well as Dustin Johnson at this moment in time. Get yourself some lessons, you never know. And they will be some good lessons. And here's what I find generally with the clients that I work with down the Quest Golf Academy. Distance is something that you will never say no to, because distance is fantastic. It's shown that it has a big benefit. However, a lot of golfers who do come to see me, when they put more power into their swing, their technique, which is already compromised in a couple of different ways, all that does, it just puts more power into the wayward shots. So often it's a case of really trying to get someone to understand that hitting it straight is important, and once you get that accuracy standpoint, you can then start to build up the distance a little bit more. That is one way of doing it. You can also go the other way of trying to get someone to hit it as far as possible, as quickly as possible, and then trying to hone down their accuracy. But let's have a little bit of a look at the Swing Quest Cam, and let's talk through how you can try and generate that little bit more power with that accuracy as well.
So let's have a look at sequencing, because this is where a lot of the power and accuracy can be combined together. Now with a sequence, it's generally the hands and the club that take the club away first, then it's the arms, then it's the body, then it's the hips, and then everything starts to fire coming through impact. Now this is a very rough guide, but generally what you will find is that the best players do start their sequence with their upper body rotating, which is then followed by the rest of the body, before that push down and into the ground on the way through. Now what I mean by the push down and into the ground on the way through, as the golf swing is completed here, you'll notice that my pressure starts to push down into my left heel. And as I do that, I'm able to draw the energy upwards from the ground and then start rotating the body down towards the target. Because this is the key, if you're able to move in sequence like this, you can then start to shallow the club down behind the body and then control club face but also power with the amount of rotation that you're able to apply coming through impact. Now this is the same with every single club, from the iron I'm using here to the driver. But remember, this is a rough guide. There's a lot more to generating power than accuracy than just this, but it's a hell of a good start. So let's get back to the action and see how we're getting on at Wilmslow.
Definitely advantage Matthew on this hole. Very nice shot. To get one back. Scores on the doors. 1 under and 1 over. So far the irons are winning. Now I would say that accuracy off the tee today has been a factor, but I'm not sure it's been the overriding factor. I would say I've holed 1 good putt and then you've missed 3 which have blipped out.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the big difference.
Yeah, the only that one tee shot where I was a bit scuppered.
It's drifting a bit as well, actually. Yeah, it's okay there.
Tell you what, we've done the lip out rounds today, haven't we? No! Obviously not what I wanted to do. That should be golden.
95 left in, not ideal. I've hung up on the slope here, should have kicked down. Matt's in a good position. Let's get this close, really. Gapper. That ain't gonna do it.
Okay, Matthew, front bunker. Chance to go up and down though, probably tie the match. Well out. What a great shot that is. Nice little runner there, mate. –
Happy?
Right, tie it up, mate.
So the match is over. I ended up winning by 1 shot, even par 2+1. But let's have a little bit of a look at the strokes gained stats and see what they show. Let's see if they give any inkling into how the match went. So with my strokes gained, I lost a stroke on driving, as you might imagine, gained 1.77 on approach play, also gained 2.5 shots on short approaches, and actually lost 0.6 of a stroke, well 0.7 of a stroke on putting. My longest drive at 241 yards, which as you might expect just with that driving iron, 42% of fairways, or 43% of fairways, which isn't great, and then 66% of greens, which is okay. And then 15 putts over that 9 holes. Now let's have a look at Matt's stats and just try and see the difference. So he gained a stroke off the tee, so +1, gained 1.8 in strokes gained on the short approaches, lost 0.1 of a shot on approach, so nothing really. But then he lost 2 strokes on his putting. So really for Matt, the big issue there and why he lost was the amount of putts that he had. And you've got to look at that round and actually say, well, to be fair, he was pretty unlucky. We both had a few lip outs, but I think Matt certainly got more unlucky with his putts than I did with mine. So what's the conclusion? Well, I've got to be honest, I think using more irons and more fairway woods off the tee would be more beneficial for the vast majority of golfers. For an amateur playing at a 6,500 yard course or under, using irons and fairway woods off the tee, it really wouldn't be that much of a disadvantage. But the only way that you can tell this, and this is what I would always recommend, get yourself out on the golf course and actually take your driver out of the bag. Play a few rounds with it not there and see what happens. See if your scores actually improve. But I will put this with a bit of a caveat, because driving is one of the best parts of the game. It's one of the most fun parts of the game. Everyone likes standing on a tee and blasting a driver. So I don't want to try and take that away. But what I would say is if you can work on your swing enough and actually groove your technique so a driver then becomes an advantage rather than a disadvantage, that's going to be the key. Because I think so many people just stand there with a driver determined to hit it well, but without the practice and without the underlying technique sound, they're going to struggle. They're going to hit it into trouble. A lot of rhymes there. So guys, let me know what you think. Make sure that you comment below. Let me know what you think about the stats, about the swings, and about how you can improve your own accuracy. Please follow me on my other social media platforms as well, which are all linked in the description below. And we'll see you down here next time.